Hello, my name is Anne and this is Toby, and welcome to a Tobyknits Flosstube, episode 78. If you're new, go get a cup of tea. I've got mine. Because today we're going to be talking about cross stitch and embroidery and my plans for September's Sampler September. Yes, you will also notice, if you are a very good regular, I have a cold. Yeah, I got it yesterday. Bob came home Sunday night whinging that he wasn't feeling well. He thought he was getting a cold. And typically this time of year, it's allergies for Bob. So I didn't take any notice of it. And then yesterday I woke up and yeah, I had a cold. And I felt rubbish all day yesterday. And I'm not feeling that much better today. But I wanted to get this video up and sorted for you because this really is not my regular podcast, my Flosstube. Just because I wanted to give you some idea of how the recording is going to go for September. And also show you what was done the end of August, because you're not going to see that really. So yeah, anyway, that's what today's is all about. And hopefully I can get through it. Oh, and I'm not coughing. It's not in my chest. It's totally in my head. So I have a rotten headache at the moment too. And my eyes probably look like they're about to close on me because they're very heavy. But you know, that's what happens when you get a cold, right? So before we get into Sampler September, oh, this is going to be a difficult one. Let's chat about what I've been up to. And is this one strawberries? Oh, it is. I got that many bags here. Honestly, look at them all. This is all the projects I'm currently working on. What? I know, really. I know. So it's a bit of a thing. Have a guess. Come on, hands up, hands up. Who knows what that is? Can you hear it? The train. Every time I sit down to record. Now, some of you might know I got this kit at Salvation Army. I'm always scourging in there looking for stuff. And I found this and thought it was really pretty. And I didn't realize till I got home, it was crewel, which is embroidering with yarn. And I did try it. I thought I'm going to give it a go because you have to have a little go at everything to know whether you like it or not. And within 2 or 3 leaves, decided I did not like working with the crewel. So I ended up ripping it out, which was super easy because it's mostly satin stitch and that's easy to pull out. And so I then ended up finding floss that matched the crewel, and I thought I did a really good job. And so here it is now. It's coming on fabulously. She drops it and the needles got stuck. One moment. There we go. I'm really happy with how it is going. I wasn't sure at first if this red, which is 817 DMC, was too dark. And I decided to just only put a little bit of red around the top strawberries to see if that looked better, and it did. So then what I ended up doing with the rest, because I really wanted to keep that dark red in it, so all of these should have gone way further in, but I only did a little bit more to just outline. And then this color here is more. This is what it should be, but this is more than it should be. And I actually think that turned out quite nice. So obviously I still have to do the French knots on these 4 strawberries, but I was anxious to see how these little flowers would go. And again, it came with pearl cotton to do that. And I did try it and I hated it. It was too thick. It looked horrible. So I went with just DMC 2 strands. All of this is 2 strands of DMC, and other than the French knots are just 1 strand. And this is a double lazy daisy. So you do 1 lazy daisy, and then outside of that you do a second one. In some instances, it might have been that one, I ended up doing 3 of them. But again, I think that's because I was only using 2 strands. So the next one I went to 3 strands, and that one turned out much better. And then it's just French knots in the center and some little straight stitches inside the flower. So I'm really pleased with how this is coming on, and it's not, in my opinion, going to take me too much longer to stitch. Tristan has already said he wants it. So we'll see. I'll show it when it's finished, and he can decide if he does want it for his bedroom or not. we were down in Toronto with them for a vacation, and as you know, we went to Chuck E. Cheese and the zoo and all that kind of stuff. And I was stitching this while we were staying at the Airbnb in the evening, and a few times Tristan would come over and would help me stitch. He would pull the needle out for me, and I'd put it back in and he'd pull it out the other end, and he enjoyed it. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he just said, "And Nana, when you're finished, I want it." I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay, whatever, Tristan. So, which is kind of funny. I thought that was really funny. And I was supposed to see them yesterday, and go out for the day with Andrew, my son, and Tristan. And but I really wasn't feeling very well yesterday. So apparently, Andrew called me later to tell me that Tristan had said they had gone and bought some candy. It's called Mike and Ike. Assuming most of you would know what that was. I'm not 100% sure I know what that is. But anyway, he bought a packet of Mike and Ike and decided that he was saving some for Nana because they would make her feel better. Honest to God, he's funny. We actually have him Thursday all day, overnight, and all day Friday. And then Ev is coming Friday night with Andrew, and they're all staying the night. And we're going to watch a baseball game. Andrew's wife, Caroline, is away in Germany right now. So he's house husband and trying to work. So we offered to take Tristan a couple of days so he could at least get some work in, because he still has to work. And Tristan starts school next week. So, yeah, I can't believe he's going to be in senior kindergarten. Anyway, that's exciting. So then, where did I get up? So strawberries was all of last week's stitch in the evening. So you can see that's why I got a fair amount done. This week's stitch is Sally, which is in this lovely bag I made. And Sally was my very first stitch of the new year. She was my new start in January. And I had been dying to do this. This was a kit my mum bought me. She bought me 2. And I feel like it was like 2007, 2008. It could have been later than that. I don't think this says what the year this was. But I had gone home to England, and Mum and I had gone into Hobbycraft, I think it was called. And she bought me these 2. And I love this one because it looks like my mum. And the other one my mum thought looked like me. It's the other girl. So... and my mom has been dead now for 10 years, and I've never started it, and I decided this year I wanted to. So here's a picture of where I was with this one, and obviously I have only stitched one evening on this because it came out last night. Today is Tuesday. You watch this Wednesday. And so I stitched on it last night. And I did get most of this all finished. Now all that's all stitched. And the rest of the hat down. Now this purpley color will come underneath here and swoop down, as you can see, to finish the hat. So there's where I'm at with it right now. It's very pretty. And I'm dying to do her eyes, but I'm trying to make myself not. I want to finish her hat before I start from the top here and work down to do her eyes. And so that's this week's stitch, Monday to Friday. Sometimes I stitch in the evenings. Sometimes I stitch during the day. And one of the things I've been doing while I've been stitching, I've been watching what's it called, McDonald and Dodds on the TV. It's nice because it's on for like an hour and a half. It's a detective story set in Bath, England. And the really funny thing was, I used to live in Bath, and every time they show a certain scene where they're walking, I'm like, oh, I've been there. Oh, I've been there. Oh, that was the coffee shop. I used to hate going past that coffee shop. And yeah, so it's been nice. It's been making me remember when I lived there. How old was I when I lived in Bath? I think it was 18. It was my first flat. I moved out of home at 18 and got my first flat. I had a roommate, and we were on the top floor of one of those old Edwardian houses. And yeah, it was a lovely area. St. Catherine's Place, that was where it was. And yeah, I lived there for a couple of years. It was lovely. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching while I've been stitching in the afternoons. So Saturday and Sunday is WIPGO for me. So WIPGO on Saturday is So Happy. If I have a picture, I'll put it up. I can't remember whether I took one. I'm trying to take them before I start stitching so you can see the progress I've made. Sometimes I forget because, you know, I'm getting old. So here is what So Happy does look like. It is a Laurie Holt pattern. And again, I started this, I think, in 2021 during COVID. And I managed to get, since last week, that much done. So the sewing machine, it's I won't say it's a boring stitch, but it's all the same color, and it's huge blocks of color, which kind of goes quickly, but it's, you know, I don't know. It's, anyway, so that's where I am with that. So there's my So Happy. I've got one more Saturday to stitch on this. And my needle came out. I always keep the needle on the back of my stitch marker, because when you turn over your work to run your needle through, you're still looking at the back of the work. So I always dump the needle there like that, as opposed to the front, so I can snip. And then when I'm ready, I've got my floss for the next strand ready, I just pull my hand around the back to get the needle. But whenever I put it on this board to show you, the needle comes off and gets stuck. So that is Saturday. So I have one more Saturday. I really hoped I could get this one finished. I'm not keen on working on this one. Maybe it's because it's all the large blocks of colors and it's all the primary colors or something. They're not my colors. But I don't think I stitched on it at all last week. Let me look. I feel like I didn't for some reason. Oh no, it was the week before I didn't stitch on it. So it's only really had three stitches on it. And then Sundays is what is Sundays? family tree. Is that this one? Yeah. So Sundays is family tree. And this again is a really old kit. I've had this for years and years. And I think I started it once all my kids started getting married. So I was probably 6 or 7 years old when I started it. And here, if I have a picture, here's the picture. I don't know why I do that to myself. And here is where I am. I got a lot of these leaves done here and up here. So this side is actually complete of leaves now. I do have to put these tiny blue, which will look like this. I got some done, but I have to come down and do the rest of those little blue flowers, I guess blossoms, I don't know, before I can then outline the rest of these. I still have to finish the leaves on this side, but my plan is to just keep working down that one side, finish this rabbit's back stitch for that one. Again, I have one more. And I wonder how many more stitches I have this for. Let me just check my book and show you, because most of them that I put in my WIPGO board went in 3 times. So yeah, I have one more family tree. So that'll be, so I have 1 more week of it, and then I have another month where it will get called. So there'll be another 4 Saturdays or Sundays. So that that's pretty good. Then I have a football stitch, which I stitch every time Liverpool Football Club play, and they played yesterday and they won. My gosh, that was a wild game though. Holy moly, they played Newcastle, and I was messaging my brother. Oh, sorry, I'm talking too much now, I'm coughing. I was messaging my brother. Oh, so this is my Peter Rabbit bag, by the way. I was messaging my brother in England back and forth every time something happened, and or a goal or something. So it was quite funny. So I am working on Miss Tiggy Winkle. Here's a picture, if I have one, of what she looked like before I started on her, and I think I finished her. She's now done. I do have her feet and the rest of the ground to do, but she herself is all completed, and then I just have to backstitch her. So I think another match, 2 matches maybe, I'll get her done, and then I can move on to Tom Kitten, who goes here. So this is my Peter Rabbit sampler. It's spring, and these are from a magazine that comes out in England by Hachette and publications, and they come out, I think you can get them weekly in the shops. They're up to, I think, issue 62. I'm still only on like issue 17. And or you can subscribe and get 4 in a package once a month. So that's what I do, and my dad sends them to me. I pay for them, my dad sends them to me. And yeah, so this is my football stitch. So I only work on that while I'm watching Liverpool play, and usually there's 2 games a week, so that's kind of nice. And last to show you is a garden swirl. This, I forgot to show you this last week. This is from Mary Corbet. I'm part of her, what do we call it, Patreon page, and she has a blog as well. And so this is free on her blog. You can take part in this. And I wanted to do it because it ends up being put on a box lid, and I was interested in knowing how it goes on a box lid. And I also, I'm still learning embroidery. Of course, I know satin stitch and I know lazy daisy and French knot, but there are still some other stitches I'm not aware of, and I wanted a bit more help in that direction. And so that's why I started this. And here is where I'm up to on this. It's very pretty. I have to, what have I got left? Oh, I'm in the middle of putting all French knots in the middle here. This center has to be finished with a decorative stitch in the middle, and I think some more French knots, and then French knots all scattered around here. So this is not going to be a big thing to finish. And then our next PDF, or no, it's not a PDF, our next blog post, I think, because this is now considered finished, our next one, I think, is to tell us, oh, and there's two little ladybugs that go there, and the next one will be to show us how to actually make it into the box lid. So I'm very excited about that, and it's just a nice little one to sit and work on. Some of it is, it hasn't been hard, but because it's little, I don't know if it's, you can, maybe not. You can see there are some little stitches around there, but, and again, there are some little stitches within that. But anyway, I think it's really pretty. So that is another little embroidery that I just do when I feel like it. It's not scheduled in anything, that one. It just, if I feel like doing it, I do it. So that's what I've been up to in August. And as I say, Sally will get love all the rest of this week, and the two WIPGOs will get some more. And I might try to show you them once we're somewhere in September and I've got nothing else to talk about. But let's talk about Sampler September. I have already got my book done. Oh, look. All the pretty flowers on it. And my plan is, and I'm going to show you now, because I am not going to be doing before pictures. And there's another train. Okay, 2 today. Nice. So I'm not going to do before pictures, because what I'm going to do is they're going to come out weekly, the videos. So they're still every week, starting on the 3rd of September. But every evening, I'm going to show you what I stitched that day. So it'll be a conglomerate of little vlogs all in one video. So not every day, but I will record every day and show you that once a week. Does that make sense? I hope so. And I decided to pull out all my samplers that I have, or stitch alongs that have been going, that I always inevitably fall behind with. Every single one. I think there's only one I actually finished, and that was this one, which I made into a bag. This is the only one that I ended up finishing. So my plan is on Mondays, I am going to stitch on Christmas Robin. And Christmas Robin was a historic sampler company's, I think it was last year's Christmas one, which I didn't finish. So, and my needle's about to come out. This is where I got with it. And you can see I just have a small quarter. I had already started on section 4 because the way the Historical Sampler Company does their stitch alongs, they're usually in 4 or 5 parts, and you normally get either a section coming this way or a quarter of the design to stitch each week. And it's obviously their mystery, so you don't know what you're getting until, but you can obviously tell in some instances, like you can see where the box, there's some, you can guess what's going to happen there somewhere. You can see this part is going to be the other part of that tree. So this is where I got to with this one. It's on a beautiful 32 count linen, green linen. I think it's sage, and it's 2/2, and it's really pretty, but I need to finish it. So this is going to be Monday stitch. So I will have 5 Mondays to work on this and get this finished by the end of the month. That's the plan. And as I say, there's not a lot more to do on it, so I should get that done, right? Let's hope. Because I do normally stitch about 2 hours on my cross stitch. So that'll give me 2, 4, 6, 10 hours. So hopefully I will. The next one is the next historical sampler in the owl bag. And this one is Little Patchwork Owl. And again, I forget when this one came out. It was after the Christmas one, I feel like. And I'm further behind in this one than so here's this one. And this is lovely because it's, I like doing samplers because, you know, you just do a little tree and you finish it and you're like, oh, I did a tree, I finished that part. So it's really nice. And this one has different trees scattered over and the owl scattered over, and the corners are all this. I like this one because it's very symmetrical, and I like that kind of stuff. And obviously the big house in the middle. So here, this will be Tuesday's stitch, and I will just show you each evening how far I've got with it. And we'll see whether that gets a big dent in that one. Wednesdays, I'm going to stitch on June, which is the one that's in this. And this was a cotton and twine box I got from Historical Sampler Company. And it's this one. And this is gorgeous. It's on a linen. It's quite small. It goes into a nice little frame after. And I have already done, oh, I don't think you can see it, August, which is way over there. There. Where's my finger? There's August on the bookshelf there. So that's how big it is. And it's really pretty. So I want to finish this one off. That's where I am right now. Now, I am not going to do the flowers on either side. I don't like them. I am going to put 2 more bees in on either side to just make that mine, if you will. So, yeah, that's really pretty. The colors are gorgeous on that one. So that will be Wednesday's stitch. So that will get about 5 stitches. So hopefully I finish that one. Thursday is going to be in the bag I made for all the girls at my table at Stitch North. And it is going to be the, this thing, which is from Stitch Toolbox. And it is a sampler from when we were at Stitch North. So my friend Diane, I love Diane, she and I both won door prizes, and we shared and switched and swapped, as you do. And she got beautiful floss from Roxy Floss Co. I'd never used that kind of floss before, so she shared it with me. And we both decided we wanted to work on this and using the Roxy Floss Co. colors with a few DMCs thrown in because we didn't have, you know, that color, for example. I did have a little issue with this. It wasn't quite what the chart depicted from the picture, but I figured it out. And but otherwise it's a lovely stitch. This is a 32 count merino, and I also got this fabric there as well from Stitch North. So I wanted to work on this one because it's a sampler, number one, and I would like to get it done because I am going next year again, so I would like to get it done to take with me and show everybody. And finally on Friday, I'm gonna work on, I think it's in this one. No, it's not that one. Oh, it's this one. In this bag, this is Secret Grove. Now this is a Needle Lock Designs mystery cross stitch, and this was amazing. I loved this. However, I'm not loving it anymore. It's very long. This is how long it is. And the colors are beautiful. I really do like them. But I didn't like some of the other, well, there was a frog next. And if you know me, you know I don't like frogs. And then there was, she did give you a couple of others you could switch around. Anyway, I love it, but I got fed up of it. So here is where I'm at with it. And what I want to do is end it here. So I just need to do a little bit more here and figure something out that I could maybe border it or something to make it look like it's finished. Anyway, it's very, very pretty. Look at the colors on that. And I was going to finish it all and give it to one of my grandchildren, and then it would be a great piece to talk about, you know, the owl and the chipmunk and the frog and, you know, all the other animals. But I really just, I don't want to finish it anymore. And this is beautiful fabric, so I can use this for something else. So I think I'm going to finish it. So this Friday stitch will be me trying to figure out how to go about finishing it where it is. And I know another one of my friends, Liz, hi Liz, is in the same boat. She didn't want to carry on with it. And so anyway, that's my plan, to see if I can end it where it is and rescue the rest of that fabric for something else. And what I might do is the other animals that are on the pattern, on the chart, I might just stitch them on their own as something else, like for one of the kids, make it a little Christmas ornament or something instead. And the other thing is my weekly stitch. Now, oh, I still have this on the hoop. I don't normally do that. So the weekly stitch will be Pumpkin Patch. And I was originally going to give Pumpkin Patch, which is the one that has just finished from Historical Sample Company. I was going to give this another, a weekly stitch. I was. But then I thought, no, I've always been doing this as a 1 hour a day. Although in August that fell by the wayside once we were away and everything else. Then the kids arrived and from Nova Scotia, so I didn't. So I want to go back to finishing this off. As you can see, I've only on section 1 is done. I'm nearly finished section 2. There's a section 3 and a section 4, which I have to finish. So this will just be my daily stitch. So this gets 1 hour every day at some point during the day, whether I do it before I do my regular stitch project or after breakfast, while I'm just trying to decide what to do with my day. I might pull it out while I'm watching some YouTube videos and just do that. So this is still going to be the daily stitch. So every day you're going to see how I've progressed on that, how I've progressed on my daily stitch sampler thing, and but you'll get them as a weekly video. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you are going to come along. I was thinking too, and let me know what you think about this, I might do a live, a Sampler September live, where we just all get together. The other thing I thought I might do is I have Zoom. Now, it's not, I don't pay for it, so it's not, you only get like 40 minutes free. I was thinking of doing a Zoom, and just for 40 minutes we could stitch, and then I get to see you. And you get to see me. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Let me know below what you think. Do you want a live? Do you want a Zoom live where we can all chat with each other about our samplers and show each other what we're working on? Yeah, let me know. Maybe we can do something like that. Anyway, I'm going to go. I will be back here on the 31st, which is a Sunday, for a live. And that is going to be for my knitting. I'm going to be casting on the Spooky Spider socks. If you are joining in, please come along for the live, and I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you next Wednesday. Okay, bye.